Hello guys and welcome to day 29. So we're on the home stretch, our second last day. So today we'll start in a standing position. So you can bring yourself to the centre of your mat. That's me for a second thinking, will I take these bags down in case I kick them? And for some reason deciding against it. What can I say? I like my bags. I like to have them in view. Okay, so bring your feet hip distance apart or slightly closer. So I just place my hands on my hips there again, just to adjust slightly your pelvis and just make sure it's in a neutral position. Allowing our shoulders to come down and back so we can actually bring our hands to our shoulders in order to encourage them to do that. Keeping a nice tall spine, bringing our hands down by our hips, palms facing forward. Neck is in neutral. And I think it may be nice to start with the eyes closed today. So just really focusing on our breathing, drawing that inhale up from our lower belly, through our abdomens, into our chest, up to our nose, and out our nostrils, and exhaling. On the inhale, we draw our hands together, bring them to heart center, and exhale. Inhale, drawing our palms together, and exhale as we bring them down through heart center, reaching out and up again. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, heart center. Inhale as we spread our arms, reach our hands up and draw our palms together. Exhaling as we lower and bring them down. And inhale as we draw them up. And exhale, bring them back to heart center. Taking a moment here, then releasing our hands by our side. Maybe turning on our mat so we're facing the long way. And just coming into a gentle forward fold so we can bring our hands to rest on the back of our calves, bring a bend into our knees, especially if our hamstrings are tight. Or if our hamstrings are particularly tight this morning, maybe catching opposite hand to opposite elbow and gently rocking here from side to side and bringing a gentle rock into our knees as well. From here we lift into flat back or monkey position, fingers coming forward to our shins or to our thighs. Most importantly that we have that nice flat back and we're really grounding through the 3 points of alignment in our feet. So that's the knuckle under our big toe or little toe and the center of our heel, and our gaze is forward between our hands. From here we'll bring a slight bend in our knees and we'll step back into a down dog, reaching our hands forward, pressing through the balls of our feet, pressing through all 10 knuckles in our hand, raising our hips nice and high, lengthening through our spine, allowing our head to come down between our arms, and again making whatever little movements you need as we set into our first down dog today. So maybe that's taking a bend in your knees, maybe it's walking the dog on the spot, or staying in static. From here we'll reach our right foot forward, bring our knee above our ankle, press through the ball of our back foot, engage our core as we lift on up into crescent lunge. From here we'll raise our arms on either side of our head, hip facing forward. Nice deep inhales and exhales, and really grounding through our feet here so we get that strength that we're pressing down into the earth. We get that to reverberate back, and we're also getting a lift. From here we lower our hands, we'll walk our left foot in slightly if we need to as we come into pyramid pose, turning our left foot at a slight angle out, both legs in train track lines with each other, hands on either side of the front foot, gaze down at the big toe, and really just straightening through, lengthening through our legs here. Nice lengthened spine also, and just feeling that stretch in our hamstring. From here we'll lower our back knee and foot to the ground. Front foot, we have our knee above our ankle, and from here we'll place our hand on our right thigh or we'll raise them overhead for our moon salute. So this is a lovely stretch to open up our left hip flexor and psoas. And again here we can have our gaze forward or we can have it up at our hands, depending on which variation suits us this morning. And from here we lower our hands. Walk our knee in slightly so that our left knee is beneath our left hip. Bring our right foot to center, stretching out through it. Plantar flexion. And this time we're going to allow our upper body to round over our leg. So most of the time now we've been keeping that nice flat back. Today we're rounding, so you might bend your arms slightly, again depending on the length of your arms. Maybe you need to bend them, maybe you don't, in order to drop over that right leg. And as we're pressing down through the foot, we're feeling that stretch all along our right leg. From here we're going to come back into our down dog. Walk gently for a moment or two on the spot just to stretch it out, and we're going to come to repeat the same movements on our left hand side. So again, just coming to still, taking a nice deep inhale and exhale, and then stepping our left foot forward behind our left hand. Our left ankle is below our left knee. We're really pressing through that foot and the ball of our right foot, engaging our core and lifting on up into our crescent lunge position. Make any adjustments you need so that you're nice and balanced. Your hip points are facing forward. You're getting the support up from the ground. Hands on either side of your head. From here we'll straighten the front leg, lower our hands so they're on either side of our left foot. Step our right foot in slightly, angle it out at a very slight angle, and both legs in train track lines with each other. Our gaze is down at our left foot this time, and we're really pressing through our legs and enjoying the stretch sensation in our hamstring. From here, we might need to adjust on the mat depending on space again. So bringing our left knee above our left ankle, lowering our right knee, shin and back of the foot to the ground, placing our left hand on our thigh, or if we prefer the variation of raising our hands above our head, we have that option too. So if we're raising our hands above our head, we can keep our hands separated, which just allows a bit more space for our shoulders if they're tight, or we can draw them together. Then lowering our hands to either side of our foot, pressing onto the ball of our back foot and stretching back into down dog. Walking the dog here for a moment or two. So that was quite an intense stretch, a strong start to our practice. And from here we'll come down to our knees, walk our hands in, and we're going to sit back into toes pose. So for toes pose, you want to make any adjustments you need so that all 10 toes are on the ground, your bum is to your heels, your hands are resting on your thighs, your spine is nice and tall, your gaze is straight ahead, or your eyes are closed. For this one, I like to close my eyes because there's no doubt it's a very intense stretch on the feet. It gets less intense if you do it more regularly, but it's still quite strong. So I think by closing the eyes, it really allows us to just rule out distractions, focus on the breathing, and breathe some space and ease into the soles of our feet. If you find it too intense, you can always come forward onto the palms of your hands, untuck your feet, give them a little patter against the ground, and then come back in when you're ready. So keeping those hands resting on the thighs. And then from here we'll come forward. Nice job, guys. Untucking the toes, walking our hands forward, walking our feet back, allowing our hips to drop to the ground as we come into Sphinx pose. So here we're grounding through the tops of our feet, our shins and our thighs. So as we engage our quads, we might notice that we're starting to lift up slightly and pinning our navel to our chest, bringing our elbows directly beneath our shoulders. And again, drawing our shoulders back, relaxing our neck. Arms are shoulder distance apart, palms are facing the ground, gaze is forward. From here we'll bring our right hand parallel to the short edge of the mat. We'll reach around for our left foot with our left hand, and we'll just hold on to it, or we'll draw it in towards our bum. So again, holding on to it might be a deep enough stretch for you as it is, or maybe holding on to a scarf or a strap that you have around it, and then very gently releasing it. Then turning so our left forearm is parallel with the short edge of the mat. And again, as I'm showing you there, you can just reach your arm in the direction of your foot, even if you don't catch it, or you can hold it far away from your body. If you have the range of motion, you can bring it in towards your bum, but again, not putting any unnecessary strain on here. Regardless to which variation you do, you'll be stretching out your quad. so the muscle on the front of your upper leg. From here, we'll reach back and come to a cross-legged position in the center of our mat. Take any moment you need to readjust. Then we'll bring our left hand to the outside of our right knee and we'll initiate a twist from our center, placing our right hand behind us, looking out over our right shoulder, breathing nice and deeply here. Gentle massage for internal organs. Keeping that spine nice and elongated. And being very conscious as to where we're twisting from. So twisting from our core and then coming back through center and to the opposite side. Bringing our right hand to the outside of our left knee, our left hand out behind, pressing into the earth behind us, and our gaze is over our left shoulder. So we initiate the twist from the spine and central region so that we're getting that massage for our organs, so that we're getting that nice little movement for our spine and making sure that we're not putting any unnecessary strain on our neck. Then back to the center, hands together, maybe dipping our chin to our chest, giving ourselves a smile, thanking ourselves for our practice, and checking in with ourselves in these last couple of moments on the mat today. Just noticing how our body feels after today's practice. And I'm just noticing that my shoulders and arms are nearly completely one with the colour of the background, the radiator on the wall. Hilarious. Okay. Anyway, breathing here. And from here, raising our arms overhead, giving ourselves another little smile. Bring our palms down. May you have peace in your thoughts, your words, your heart, your body and soul. Namaste. Nice one, guys. Okay, so join me tomorrow for day 30.